Ohio State stays cleaning up recruiting, specifically in the state of Texas, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today, I am donning the Shane Footsteps Falco replacement jersey for the Washington Sentinels because I want you to know that this is real and that I got this in the closet. I was asked about this a couple of times. Yes, I own the Billy Bob. Yes, I own the Bobby Boucher, and I own the Booby Miles, and on it goes. I got the Icebox Becky O'Shea in there as well. Gonna rip that out for you at some point or another. But my God, Ohio State, what are you doing in recruiting? All right, so just less than a week after securing the number one recruit in the 2022 class, number one quarterback in Quinn Ewers, who had decommitted from Texas, they go back into Texas and they pull out Caleb Burton, who for some is the number one wide receiver in the 2022 class. In the 247 Sports Composite, he's number 2. He's the 15th best overall player in the 2022 class, 6 foot, 170 pounds. The thing to remember about him is his ball winning ability is second to none. That dude is a jump ball, go get it machine. The way that you're used to seeing CeeDee Lamb, DeAndre Hopkins go out there and compete for balls, the way that you're used to seeing Megatron compete for balls, that's what this guy can do. He's still going to grow a little bit, still got to put on a little bit of weight, but that's the only real drawback to his game. And while Brian Hartline apparently does not want to be called a good recruiter, I don't know how you're going to say he's not, because when you're taking a look at what they have done here recently, like we can start with the 5 stars, right? The 2022, Quinn Ewers, and now Caleb Burton to go along with Tegrate Shabola and Gabe Powers and CJ Hicks, and on it goes. But the way that I tend to look at this is there have been 15 5-stars since 2017 to come out of the state of Texas. Let me make sure I got that right because I want to make sure I get this number because the numbers are stupid, right? The numbers are just ridiculous. So yeah, I'm right in that there have been 15 5-stars come out of the state of Texas since 2017. 4 of them have gone to Texas A&M. 4 of them have gone to Texas, and 7 have gone to Ohio State University. And it gets even more stupid. The scorecard for 5-star wide receivers in the state of Texas is Oklahoma 1 since 2019. Oklahoma 1, Texas 1, Ohio State 3. That's since 2017. That's ridiculous. I'm not sure that we can really talk about somebody else recruiting on this level since maybe USC back in the day and Florida in about 08 or so. I think Texas has also got a wide receiver in there. So Ohio State, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, that's the one. And Texas each got 1 since 2019. Ohio State has 3. Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, and now Caleb Burton. So you understand what it is right now for the Big Ten, and Ohio State continues to just lord over everything that you know and love. My God, I'm thinking about this from the standpoint of recruiting against Ohio State and then taking into account what they have been able to do with the guys they get. Jeff Okudah goes in the first round. J.K. Dobbins ends up getting drafted and getting a bunch of carries for the Baltimore Ravens. You've seen how this continues to go down for Ohio State when they go in the state of Texas. It's not just that they can go in there, it's that they can go in there and show you production. Now, I have been very loud about saying Ohio State has not had a first-round draft pick at wide receiver since 2007. Remember, I graduated high school in 2006. And the last guy to be drafted in the first round at Ohio State as a wide receiver is Anthony Gonzalez. And I think that dude's like a politician now. But it also is Barry in the lead there. And Michael Thomas is the best wide receiver in the NFL. He's been hurt a bunch this year. But the dude set a record for the most catches in a season with 146 or whatever last year. And you look around at what guys have been doing. KJ Hill, Terry McLaurin is having a really, really great year for a Washington football team that is absolute trash. Curtis Samuel is playing every position for the Carolina Panthers. We can continue to talk about how good Ohio State has been when it comes to wide receivers in the NFL. I just like hitting them over the head with this fact that they haven't had a first-round draft pick at wide receiver in 13 years, because we talk about how they get the defensive backs drafted in the first round all the time. I feel like we need to go both ways on this and talk about what Ohio State does not do well from time to time. Now, that said, adding a guy like Caleb Burton certainly increases your chances of generating a first-round draft pick here in the next several years. Possibly somebody that's as good as Earl Wilkinson, who played on the replacements. Somebody who does not need to stick them and look like they are, with the elephant in Clifford Franklin. Although Clifford Franklin got one of the coldest lines in the replacements. Clifford Franklin is looking for a new hoe. Clifford Franklin only one going up. Clifford Franklin only one coming down with it. And, I know there's a bunch of y'all that's Nigels out there, and I know there's a bunch of y'all that's Jumbos out there, and that's cool, whatever. Don't be the cop. Don't be John Favreau. Don't be him, because cops and whatnot. But Shane Falco, chicks dig scars, glory, lasts forever. Like, Ohio State is getting a Danny. Ohio State is getting the dude that, is deaf, but is the coldest football player. Like, he's like, who wants the ball other than me? Yeah, you do, Brian. Not Danny, Brian. Danny's the cop. Let's hook up. DC right. Twins left. On three. On the center. On the snap. Like, it's what's up. Or, at the very least, they don't have a quarterback like Shane Falco where you get old people coming up to you talking about, I lost a lot of money on that Sugar Bowl. Like, yo! But plus, Shane Falco went to Ohio State. I don't know if y'all remember that or not. That's why I'm wearing the Shane Falco jersey. You get it or you don't, and if you don't, that's okay. I'm just here for the replacements. I'm always going to be here for the replacements. I'm always going to be here for the great football movies, Necessary Roughness, Friday Night Lights, Varsity Blues, and, of course, the program. Wildcats is trash. Y'all can kick rocks with the Wildcat stuff. I'm not here for that. I'm really not here for that. The other part of this that I found was interesting is the evaluation that Gabe Powers gave of Caleb Burton that I'm going to give to you right quick, and how he is talking about, what it's been like for them. But it's, oh my gosh, good frame potential for a typical outside receiver prospect, and flashes impressive timing and high pointing ability on contested throws, meets the ball at the apex, adjusts well with encouraging body control, gets off the line and quickly, and on top of that, corners in a hurry, shows impressive burst and acceleration, dangerous in catch and run situations, run after the catch, the rack as they call it, generally a good hands catcher, good football pedigree, adequate to above average on-field long speed, but can get faster at top end. Among the top prospects in Texas for the 2022 class, possesses all conference potential with a long-term NFL draft ceiling. As a sophomore, Caleb Burton caught 51 passes for 882 yards with 12 tutties. That's stupid. Like, the comp is Jerry Jeudy, and y'all know how cold Jerry Jeudy was at Alabama, and how cold he continues to be at Denver. Like, Jerry Jeudy's just cold. All right, that's it for me. Doses.